6 months ago, Ellen received her buffs and now she is back yet again, ready to be pulled. But is she still worth it even? Well, we will find out today, but she's certainly got some new tools to play with. Namely Dialin, which guide you can check out right here anyway. So today let's talk about her kit and how she plays, her best weapons, disk drives and disk drive sets, her combos, her main and substats, her teams and Mindscapes, and lastly, let's also talk about her pros and cons. Welcome! I am Rivenous and this is your complete, updated, in-depth guide to Ellen Joe. Ellen is an Ice-type attack agent who specializes in building up flash freeze charges to expand them to use enhanced basic attacks. Before we cover her kit, however, our favorite Shark Thyron mate has a message for you. LD Shop is a safe and reliable top-up site for your favorite games, such as Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Withering Waves, or Genshin Impact. Created by LD Player, LD Shop offers you affordable prices, even up to 30% off, through official ways and does not require any account credentials. Your server and UID are enough. Spend over $80 and you get to claim an internet membership for free every month. LD Shop is trustworthy, provides a fast delivery within minutes, and as you can see by the huge amount of positive reviews, is also safe and reliable. To make sure you can safely acquire your new favorite agent and don't have to worry about losing the ugly 50-50, go and claim your deals directly today, before it is too late. So go directly to ldshop.gg using my link in the description or pinned comment and save money today. Use my link and you will receive a 15% off and a 5% off coupon. Thank you LD Shop for sponsoring this video. While Ellen's kit is not as complicated and convoluted as the ones of newer units are, let's break it down to better understand how she plays. As previously mentioned, Ellen's kit is based around her unique resource Flash Freeze Charges, which are indicated in the top left hand corner right below her HP bar, and she can hold a maximum of 6 of them. Holding or double pressing the dodge button will have her enter the roaming state, and during this roaming state she gains access to 2 versions of Dash Attack Arctic Ambush. Pressing her basic attack will have her attack with her scissors and grant her 1 flash freeze charge, but holding the basic attack button pressed will charge up the attack and grant her 3 flash freeze charges instead. If Ellen triggers a perfect dodge or when switched in via her quick assist, she gains the quick charge effect for 5 seconds, which massively reduces the charging time required for the charged scissor attack. And furthermore, Ellen is also invulnerable while charging her scissor, and if she is attacked during the charge, the damage she would receive is instead nullified and said charge will instantly complete. Because of these 2 mechanics, we nearly always want to fully charge her scissor, and there is rarely any reason to not do it. Lastly, as for her dodge, holding her dodge or quickly repressing it during a dodge while also inputting any movement will have her enter the roaming state as well, and because her dodge counter is frankly not very good, we prefer doing this over, well, actually using her dodge counter. Her assist follow-up does what an assist follow-up is supposed to do, so instead we talk about her quick assist. Since her quick assist is not very good either, we will instead use her skip to the roaming state instead, very similar to a dodge. Moving into any direction during a quick assist will have her enter the roaming state instead of performing said quick assist. We can simply achieve this by holding the W key pressed while switching, or whatever the corresponding input is on the controller if you are using, well, a controller. But more on that later during the combo section. And lastly, since we kinda got a little bit off topic, since we have been talking about how we can acquire flash freeze charges, which are all primarily obtained through her roaming state and the following dash attack we just covered, she can also gain charges from her EX specials. So what do we actually need said flash freeze charges for? When Ellen possesses any flash freeze charges, her basic and normal dash attacks become enhanced, and she also gains access to another basic attack called Glacial Blade Wave. While we do not actually want to use the enhanced dash attacks, her enhanced basic attacks we want to use, and they now deal ice damage instead of physical, as well as having much higher multipliers. We can also extend the duration of her basic 3 by holding the basic attack button pressed, and as a little side note, her basic 3 also has relatively good grouping for smaller enemies. As for Glacial Blade Wave, it deals up to 2 instances of damage and also consumes up to 2 flash freeze charges. Ellen can use Glacial Blade Wave after the 3rd hit of her enhanced basic attack, dash attack, dodge counter or quick assist by pressing basic attack, and she is invulnerable during the skill. This attack can also be directly followed up with her basic 3. Lastly, Ellen also features a 3rd basic attack called Icy Blade. After the 3rd hit of her basic attack, 2nd EX special, more on that in just a bit, dodge counter or assist follow-up, she will automatically cast Icy Blade, which inflicts damage based on how strong the enemy is. Less damage versus normal enemies and more damage versus elites and bosses. She is invulnerable during the skill as well and also gains the quick charge effect after using it. This skill also does not interrupt the attack string of the previous attack, but again, more on that during the combo section. We will skip her dodge counter, chain attack and ultimate because they all do what they are supposed to do, or we will not use them in the case of the dodge counter. Ellen also features 2 EX specials called Tail Swipe and Sharknami. Both of them deal a good amount of damage, with Tail Swipe being slightly higher but Sharknami having a much larger AoE. Both skills will also grant her 1 point of flash freeze charge and can directly be followed up by her basic 3 and is yet again also invulnerable during the skill. And that leaves us with her core and additional ability. As for her core, it grants her an additional 100% crit damage for her charged dash attacks, enhanced basics, chain attack and ultimate, as well as her basic attacks Glacial Blade Wave and Icy Blade. Her additional ability requires either a stun agent or a Victoria Secret I leave that in. Victoria Housekeeping Agent, and effectively grants her an additional 30% ice damage bonus. Lastly, to finish her kit, let's have a look at her skill priority. Most of her damage comes from her basic attacks, followed by her ultimate, chain and EX special, so our skill priority is skill and basics into chain and EX into dodge and assist. As a side note, when playing with Dialyn, her damage will shift more towards her ultimate, but it does not really change our skill priority as chain and ultimate share some skill levels anyway. And with that out of the way, let's talk about her combos. Ellen's most simple out of stun damage combo is her charged dash attack into Glacial Blade Wave, then followed by her basic 3 and Icy Blade. We also want to make sure to swap cancel her Icy Blade as the animation is quite long. We can also just slightly expand upon this, and as we know, when triggering a perfect dodge or using her quick assist, it will grant her quick charge, which means holding her dodge button pressed during a dodge while also inputting any movement or simply moving during the quick assist will have Ellen transition directly into her roaming state instead, skipping her dodge counter or quick assist. This leaves the expanded combo at perfect dodge or quick assist into a roaming state, into charged dash attack, followed by her Glacial Blade Wave into basic 3 and Icy Blade. Unfortunately, Ellen is not invulnerable during her basic 3 as well, so if you are about to be attacked during this time, we are better off interrupting this combo with either a dodge counter and just restart it. This effectively means, given that the enemy is aggressive enough, in theory, we can loop parts of this combo essentially forever. But if we were to do that, however, we would accumulate a lot of energy, which we would waste by simply not using it. So let's talk about how we can integrate her EX special into her out of stun combo. If we find ourselves with too much energy, we begin the combo the same way we did before, However, this time we want to use our EX special to cancel the Icy Blade and override it with her first EX special, which we can then follow up with another basic 3 and finish the combo using her Icy Blade. Regardless of which combo you use, swap cancelling the Icy Blade at the end is usually always preferable as, again, the animation is quite long for only a medium damage gain. These are the main combos outside of stun, so let's now head into the stun window, and her stun combo will also require manual chain. Ideally, we want to have at least 80 energy and 1 to 4 flash freeze charges heading into the stun window. We trigger the chain using any ally not named Ellen, then use Ellen's chain attack. Cancel the chain into both of her EX specials and swap cancel the following Icy Blade. Then we re-trigger the chain with another ally, use her chain yet again and cast her ultimate. Lastly, we will fill the rest of the stun window using her enhanced basic 1, 2 and 3. If we play her with Dylan, this does effectively not change, except our first chain will be an ultimate instead. If you are not a manual chain user, we want to start the stun window with at least 3 flash freeze charges. Trigger the chain with an ally and use Ellen's chain attack. Then we proceed with her enhanced basic 1, 2 and 3 and we swap cancel the Icy Blade. Re-trigger the chain with any other ally into her chain attack, then use her ultimate. Now we use her EX special and finish with her Icy Blade. This combo is also preferable if you are short on energy but have more flash freeze charges. And just as before with Dylan, this does not change, except for one chain attack instead becoming an ultimate. Ellen's signature is still her best in slot, mainly due to the insane amount of crit rate it provides, as 44% is absolutely pretty disgusting. Both Myriad Eclipse and now also Cordis Germina are great choices for her as well, with Myriad Eclipse becoming better or worse depending on how well you can maintain its uptime during significant burst windows, and Heartstring Nocturne is yet again a great stat stack, but because she already has so much inherent crit damage, just slightly worse. As for Brimstone, well, I would not necessarily recommend it, as maintaining the stacks during stun can be kinda difficult, but if you do, make sure to always weave in an enhanced basic 1, 2 and 3 in between the chains and ultimate to maintain stack uptime if you do decide to use it. Otherwise, Riot Suppressor, Severed Innocence and Santian are her next best choices, and honestly she has a pretty good extensive lineup of weapons to select from. As for her disk drive sets, we can keep this short. A 4-piece Woodpecker wins out by quite a bit over literally anything else, including a 4-piece Polar Metal. As for the 2-piece, Puffer Electro, Astral Voice, Branch and Blade or Polar Metal will do their job just fine, with a difference of 1 to 3%, and that is about as much as 1 or 2 substat rolls, which also means choose whatever has better substats. If you play Ellen with Dylan, a 4-piece Puffer Electro can be even or even slightly ahead over a 4-piece Woodpecker, depending on how well you can maintain either's buff's uptime. If you don't run her signature, going for crit rate in slot 4 is the best choice, as we can reach nearly 100% crit rate without sacrificing too much crit damage on her due to her core skill. If you are running her signature, however, or any other crit rate weapon for that matter as well, either crit damage or attack percent in slot 4, pen ratio in slot 5 and attack percent in slot 6 are her best options. Ice damage and attack percent in slot 5 will work as well, however, and that is true for both Lighter and Dylan, and while the difference becomes less with Myriad or Cordis, pen ratio is still her best choice even with the defense threat weapons. As for her substats, focus on crit rate first and foremost until you hit close to 100%, then crit damage and attack percent, and lastly flat pen and flat attack. Without her signature or Cordis Germina, hitting exactly 100% crit rate is honestly quite unrealistic unless you are running Unfettered Game Ball on either Sokaku, Yuzura or on Astra against an enemy that is Ice, Ice or Ether weak respectively. Without her signature, you can aim for at least 80 to 90% crit rate however instead. Let's quickly cover her Mindscapes. Alan's Mindscapes are unfortunately pretty bad. Her Mindscape 1 allows her to obtain 6 charges now instead of 3, but because we are frequently dodging and using her dash attack regardless, this changes most of the time nothing. It also gives her up to 12% crit rate, which is something we can actually use, and that makes building her, well, if we are being honest, especially with her signature or Cordis Gamina, and she already has a lot of crit rate, so it is great with any non-crit rate weapon. Her M2 grants her up to 60% crit damage on her EX special attacks based on the current amount of flash freeze charges she has when using it. It also allows her to directly follow up her enhanced basic 3 with her EX special Shark Nami, which overall just results in a small damage gain. It is much better in AoE scenarios, however. Her Mindscape 3 and 5 exist and are, in comparison to her other Mindscapes, not even that bad. Her M4 is more of a quality of life and ensures we can always do her full stun rotation without having to worry about saving flash freeze charges. Her M6 increases the damage of her dash attacks by a massive 250%, but because they don't deal that much damage in comparison, this kinda really doesn't matter too much. But she also gains 20% pen ratio, however, and we can expect this to have a nearly permanent uptime on this, which is actually really good. With Alan being able to run effectively any stunner without losing out on her additional core, we have quite a lot of team options for her. Any stunner will do well enough with her, with Lycon, Lighter and Dialan being her best choices, but Jufufu and Trigger can do super well as well. For the third slot, either of Astra or Nicole will do well, with Nicole being especially good when running Trigger in the second slot due to stacking defense threat. For this team specifically, running ice damage or attack percent in slot 5 is preferable over pen ratio. A double stun composition will work as well, but personally I don't like it as much simply due to the lack of time to build up resources in between stun windows. For the free-to-play players, both Collida and Pulchra can do their job in the second slot, and Lucy or Rina can do well enough as a support in the third slot, with Rina being better than Lucy but also harder to play, especially at Mindscape 0. Alan has access to a fair amount of teams, and with Lycon and Rina both being standard S ranks and great partners for her honestly, she has a solid accessible base for most players. She does favor Dialan and Lighter, however, over other choices. Due to the huge amount of attack weapons released within the last year, she also has a great range of weapons to choose from, some of them coming pretty close to her signature. However, most of these are also premium options. Outside of the enhanced basic attacks, she feels somewhat invulnerable during most of her actions, but her skill floor is also more in the middle to the higher end, which might be surprising for a lot of players. But there is a reason she scores so low on average, which to be fair can also partially be attributed to her not having many favorable matchups in Deadly Assault as of recently. Lastly, her Mindscapes are also just not really good, which heavily limits her vertical investment possibilities. And with that, we are at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment on why Alan is your favorite shark, and join the Discord. A special thanks to my YouTube and Patreon members who make this content possible. If you wish to support me, you will find a link to my Patreon in the description, or click the join button right below this video. And as always, I appreciate all of you and wish you a great day. Peace!